Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and click on the activation of notification button. Click. Great Biafrans, lovers of freedom, seekers of justice, I greet you all. The good people of Nigeria, I greet you all. And all the people who believe in Peter Obi's cause, the obedience, I greet you all. I greet everyone who believes in equity, who believes in justice, who believes in fairness, who believes in rationality, who believes in balance, who believes in Ebeberugo Bere theory. I greet you all. I greet you all. It shall be well with you. What I have to puncture today, what I have to touch today, revolves around Peter Obi's electoral victory that has been denied him, and which is still in contention, which is still in the courts, and the outcome of yesterday court ruling, the court ruling yesterday, and why, and things that are still in line. I will have to touch a lot of things: the connivance of the institutions of the state of Nigeria, the establishments of the state, and all targeted at robbing or denying Peter Obi his victory, because Nigerians all over are insisting that they gave their vote to Peter Obi. But I will reveal all this and then tell you why we are insisting on Biafra. Why we are insisting on Biafra as the solution of Nigeria as the only solution. By the time I am done telling you, a lot of you will agree with me. Now, before then, I will quickly want to take a little brush at the today's developments, which includes one, that Nigerian court have mandated INEC to permit the use of the temporary voters card for the Saturday coming election. The Nigerian court has permitted INEC to allow people use temporary voters card to vote in the supposed Saturday that would have been Saturday coming election, now shifted to 18th of March, same 2023. And I also want to touch the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Okuahamadike won, the supreme commander of indigenous people of Biafra, the primus leader we have. The primus leader we have. Others are subordinates. And he has expressed dissatisfaction with the level, the extent, the commitment, and the outcome, the results gotten so far by his legal team, the achievement of the legal team so far. He is not satisfied at all. He is not satisfied on how calm, how relaxed they have been, even when they have gained victory, and they are relaxed that this victory is denied, is robbed them in a broad daylight, and they are not taking any international measure. They're not taking any strong term to stop the court, to stop the application to the Supreme Court. So they are just quiet, and the federal government is initiating fresh charges and all of that. So our supreme leader is not comfortable at all. So there have been, it's not rumors, there's information still lying that the supreme commander might be discharging a lot of his legal counsel, because this result, he is not comfortable there at all. It is getting on him, but he remains resolved. He is not a man that changes his stance, in as much as it is a righteous stance. Okay, we want to also talk about the British government withdrawal of Catriona Laing as their ambassador to Nigerian state, by replacing him with another, now a man by name Dr. Richard Montgomery or something, Mary. So Montgomery Richard will henceforth CMG will henceforth be is now the new High Commissioner, the ambassador of British state to Nigerian government. And so this Amosu line has been removed. So the court permits INEC also to reconfigure the BVAS, which is where we are coming. We are coming there. There have been also, as usual, bad news, different bad news. Bandits yesterday kidnapped over 50, and I think about 6 have been confirmed dead in one northern state. Should that be Niger State or so, I think. And today, again, Lagos State, there is a fatal accident between a coastal bus shuttle in Lagos and a rail train. So it was a dastardly one. Took a lot of lives. So on our today's main focus, the outcome of the P2B's application in the court, the outcome of the applications in the court against the validity of the election, and about supervision of the electoral materials, including the BVAS. That's where we are coming in now. Now, P2B, Atiku Abubakar of the People Democratic Party and the Labour Party contenders have filed a case seeking the court to allow them access to these materials. The court said yes, it is their right, and that it's not going to stop with them, that they also are going to allow Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have access to these materials. That's good, that's fine. I will still go until I tell you why the election was the way it is and the collaborations therein. Now the court said, even as we are allowing you access to these things, the court was craftily able to tell them that won't be now, that it won't be now, that INEC have also prayed to them, to the court, to allow it go into reconfiguration of the BVAS machine technology, so as to cut off or to shave off the obvious imperfection in the BVAS machine. So the court quickly yielded or assented to the granted the prayer of the electoral body, which is supposed to be independent. Unfortunately not. Now the court said, if we don't grant INEC this, that it will hamper a very credible election coming, supposed, as in the eyes of the court then, it was supposed to hold next Saturday. So that it will be better they allow INEC to go and reconfigure the system so as to make sure there are no cases of all this uprising, all this glaring fraud and malperformance. Okay, now this being the judgment, in the first place, the court was able to tell you, yes, that even as you are going to make a case against Tinubu, who has been declared winner, that he too also need to have access to these machines so as to be able to defend himself before you, the challenger. That is the first crafty step. Now, first of all, we'll be taking it sequentially. First, you remember that during this election, there was a careful calculations, a careful mathematics. I am coming, I will tell you about everything, that allow them to distribute equitably number of states of victory to each of the candidates, to the three major contenders, equitably distributed the states. It was just, they just drafted it. This one, we will give Atiku Abubakar, because he's also prominent and popular, we will give him 12 states. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he is in the incumbent leading party, we will give him 12 states. People will be the most popular man, we will give him 12 states. So with that we will be able to reduce agitation. Now they tried it, something came up. In Lagos, where everyone's eyes was, where we expected to have had the highest voter turnout, the most supposed the hub of the state, hub of the country, the state of Nigeria. So where the hub of commerce and everything, there's so much enlightenment there. So there is so much voter participation. There have always been there have always been a very significant turnout. So now Lagos was a very big focus. Now for them to cut down on P2B's chances, they had to scuttle the chances by using the military and the security, let's say using the security outfit of the state, apparatus of the state. Now, even the touts, the hooligans who used to be used very well, efficiently in Nigerian elections historically, they were not very, very ready to give themselves to this work, except for just a handful of them, whom the Tinubu boys who were there constituting nuisance, those Ulomos boys. Now, it was the military sighted at different places snatching ballot box. It was the police sighted at different places. It was the governors captured clearly, governors working against P2B. Nobody's even raising any dust on this area. So. Okay, that's as if that's not enough. They now have to slim, after all those works they have done, they still have to manipulate using the INEC itself. At different places, you saw INEC members writing up results after election, writing up things, at different quarters. People capture them with cameras, and these are also lying. Now you see that when they saw the everywhere was getting tensed by the way they disenfranchised a lot of people, they had to now play on the intelligence of Nigerians, Lagosians. Let's particularize it. They say P2B won Lagos. But the people were just celebrating. They didn't know they have been played on. They just managed to give P2B 40,000 votes ahead of Bola Ahmed, and people were jubilating. I'm trying to unravel our poor mental strength, Nigerians. I'm trying to show where our problem starts. We only go to fight battle when the reconfrontation have started. We don't know that fighting battle starts even at the stage of friendship. When they were instituting all these institutions, these bodies in the appointing INEC and all of that, you didn't remember what happened before today's election, what happened in the previous election, who were the INEC institutions, who were INEC leaders, and what was their background, from where. They tell you this one is Prof, this one is Prof Dega, this one is this. Okay, that's not, let's continue. Let's not deviate. Now, when they bring this 40,000, everybody was distracted. They were jubilating. Hey, Obi has won. You don't know that they have strategically dealt with you. Then the next to counter it, they use Ekiti State. Now, Obi was leading Lagos with 40,000. Now, Tinubu now was leading Obi with over 250,000 or so. So the one on top is almost would have even cancelled the 40,000 from Lagos. Remember, they have already slimmed the turnout. They already disenfranchised people and then wrote the one they wrote. Because for all I know, as it stands, Tinubu was very, very, very prominent politician, very active. Was. But today, I'm very sure, anywhere I can say it, that Tinubu cannot win 20,000 with the level of awareness people be created and the way people. That was why they resorted to bullying people in Lagos, even before the election, so that to discourage them from coming out to, they incited fear on people. If you come out to bully you and, from campaign stage, all the bully, even when P2B officially came for campaign, they still bully people in the presence of camera, before camera. So that's not even the case. Now, when you see the court make judgments like this, you don't fight to preempt the nefarious idea behind it. Now, this is the thief we are fighting about. This one has been found wanting in thievery. You might say it should not be used thievery, but it's thievery. Now, the same thing it is found in wanting in stealing or messing up. You still want to give him that in which the person that is accusing him of this, so you want to still handle that material to him to still be in custody of and deal with it. Okay, I don't know, let me use, there is a criminal case now within this scene. Normally in a rational state environment, the security outfit or the court should even delegate the security outfit to go and make sure that the accused criminals are arrested and kept away from the public, restrained from free movement. They should be under interrogations. Now, the accused person, you did not arrest him. One, that's no problem. This criminal, everybody is pointing, witnesses are too much, because the whole society said, among the whole society, over 80% of the society, the environment said that this is the person that did it. They are bearing witness to that. Now, the person they stole his material or they carried out the crime in his environment, which is the scene. Now, you allow, because when investigation is to be conducted, even investigators will even wear hand gloves, because they don't want to wipe away the traces, the fingerprints on the environment. Let's say the doors, the car, the glass. Now, investigators will come to capture biometric materials or evidences. Now, they will take the fingerprint of that crime scene. They will use it to, prove the suspect either free or free of the accusation, or indict the accused. Now, you did not arrest this accused, you now allow the accused to go to the same crime scene freely, hand him over the environment to stay, and of course, you are officially telling him to go and wipe up all his fingerprints in that crime scene. Anyone who is logical enough should get what I said. This is accused. He carried out crime here. He's accused of carrying out crime here. The whole people within the vicinity, almost all, most said yes, they carried out the fraud. Even you now, the executor, have agreed by saying that you don't want, that you will be allowing them to go and reconfigure the system. Reconfigure the system so that the same error, what you are now calling error or mistake, that is not deliberate, you are saying now, the same error, so that the same error, the blunder they did in the other case before, will not be repeated again in the coming case. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's not like, yes. Now you are telling INEC, you are giving INEC custody of the same material which the accuser is going to use to prove his accusation. That is why some of obedient people, they just want to be too sympathetic. They are not real at all. They just want to, I don't know, it's not pretense. They just want to be biasly sympathetic. This is the case. When somebody tells you think the person is against you or what, no. Some of us, we are Biafrans, we don't believe in Nigerian system. Why? It's because of things like this. Do we have a working system and we talk of Biafra? No. It's because there is no working system and there is no hope of it. We are not supposed to, Obi is supposed to get justice from the court, where we say is the last hope of the common man. Okay, This is justice. This is us. Give us this justice. Now you are allowing the same accused criminal, the same person is accused for criminality, to have access to the material, which he can delete. You say that he has sworn the INEC have sworn affidavit that they should be allowed trusted. They have sworn an affidavit of trust that they will not tamper with the material. You imagine, I am a criminal and I carried out crime, and you allow me free access to the material that will be used to indict me, and I just leave it. I will be with it, and I will just leave it for you to indict me. There is no rationality in this at all. That was why the campaign organization, after the court judgment, the campaign said, in fact, that nothing good, go and read Vanguard, said nothing good will come out of it. See him, this is his statement, the campaign organization leader. See his statement. Now that was why you saw the senior advocate, that is the legal counsel to Obi, is in charge of Obi's legal team. Dr. Ibazo. Look at him. We'll see what he said. He said, "We can't trust INEC because there have been clear complicity. There's a clear complicity. The INEC chairman was said to have been seen a night to the election with bags in Lagos, and also flew with a bat private jet." That was accusation. Nobody's yet talking about that. Okay, coming to the full case. I just want to touch something before we progress to look at the card reader machine that was used. The result that card reader have always given now is quite better than the result it has given to the BVAS has given. Now in card reader, yes, we had the challenge of the card reader. First, you have to accredit. After maybe early morning, you accredit the electorate. After accreditation, maybe then the re-voting. Now in the card reader, we have cases of the card reader not taking biometric of some people. At the end of the day, they resort to filling in incident forms. So through these incident forms, politicians now easily commit their electoral fraud and all of that. And also, without these card reader machines, election can still hold. So the incident form coming now to be unnecessary and an instrument of robbery, so that it is proposed by INEC to be jettisoned. Now we are talking about BVAS. Now in BVAS, there is no more room for accreditation failure. The question is, why did some people still vote without being accredited? Or why did the BVAS not take some people? Like Nathan Wike and some others complained they weren't able to vote. Now when you listen to some of them, because they are politicians who are too cruel, now that it is benefiting the people, the party he worked for, he said yes, it is a new technology, it is expected to be like that. Election, you had test run, you had a pre-mock. Technology had pre-mock. Did you not have any team that will assess monitor situation room? Did you not have a room for eventualities? Did you have no plan to beat any eventuality should they come up? Now, what will the team that will be monitoring it? Because even in small organizations in developed states, let's say a security system network, there are security companies that give security. Now, when even the people that recharge machines in developed states, that they it's not like here we are having a recharge card. No, they have basically machines. You go, you recharge. You want to recharge 5 naira, 20 naira, you recharge. You go to the machine, you recharge. Want to recharge for somebody, you go there, you recharge. Now those machines, even for parking and all of that. Now those machines, any 1 minute, any of them malfunctions, somebody in a situation room detects the particular machine in the particular state, the particular local government, the particular street. They detect it and calls the company or the shop where the machine is placed before, where it's using their electricity, and who is enjoying some commission. They call immediately. So how come that with the kind of the amount of money you collected, you did not plan for the eventuality like this? So the whole, you are using technology, there is no surveillance, no monitoring team, no situation room for the technology to know anywhere that has any of the machines that have error. Anyways, let's continue. That's why we'll say, I am sorry for those who still believe that Nigeria will work. So sorry. I am so sorry. What everybody should be talking about. Okay. Now let's continue. So much money was allocated for this. INEC, you gave proposal. You said that the normal card reader we have used all along is no more very viable. Wonderful. You tabled proposals. You defended it. You did not stop at defending it. You had a test run. There was a pre-mock elections. This thing was tested. You told them that you have a team of ICT experts who are very learned, exposed on the usage of the BVAS and the handling of the IREV system. Now, you collected that money. Even when INEC, today, one of the INEC members is defending that the money over about almost 200 billion is not even enough. It's not enough for organizing an election. It's not enough at all. That the INEC would have requested. It's okay. You made the budget. You had the provisions. If there were any need for help, you gave Nigeria. You came before national televisions. You assured Nigerians. You said 100%. Now you want to tell Nigerians that the mockery. Then, if there was any kind of insincerity of purpose in it, what INEC chairman would have done is to cancel the election. So why would you progress in error? Now you have admitted that is even the case. Now even you, the court, have admitted. The INEC already reported itself that the election was nothing to go by. Now the opposition said, let's cancel it because we know we won. Let's cancel the election because the election was nothing to write home about. You know, the INEC have also, without knowing, admitted that the election was nothing to write home about, and you have now applied to go and reconfigure the system so that the blunder you had the last election will not repeat in the coming the governorship and the other state elections, House of Assembly. Now, admitting this, you don't want to cancel the election. Admitting this, you are still denying praying, you INEC, because of the clear involvement, the clear compromise. You are praying to the court to refuse your accuser access to the material that he will use to prove that you carried out a fraudulent election, that you cheated him. You are praying to the court to deny him access. Now the court, as an organized plan, now one party will be saying no. No. Let us not deny them. One will say, let us deny them. At the end of the day, you will say, okay, we are not denying them. But you give another condition that will still beat the main purpose of the application. Now that they will have access to the BVAS. Now, if they have access to the BVAS after it has been manipulated, of what use is it? But some people will celebrate. They say, "Hey, but go and read. INEC already granted the prominent news is that INEC have been granted permission to reconfigure. So now time also have been extended for them to enough for them to have little more time to reconfigure. Now I want to ask. So if 1 week will be very okay for them to reconfigure and have a very credible election in the coming 18th March. So why was all these years, all these months, not enough for them to plan a credible election? After all, the election will hold in all the 36 states, and there will even be more turnout. So why? But the obedient people will not ask these why questions. They thought that Peter Obi was stupid when he was asking the court to allow him access to the BVAS. They say no, they already have all the information they needed. That everything is in IREV, it's there, it's uploaded, they can see it. They say, I will not abuse them, I will not join anybody to call them obedient, no. But I will say, a lot of them, a lot of the obedient people, they are not as intelligent as the person they are following. Peter Obi is very intelligent, very smart, that's the truth. But his barristers are intelligent too. That was why you see the barrister is saying, the Dr. Victor is saying, no, that you allowing that you would have beaten the substance of my victory. Of course. So why will I be? There's no need me staying in the application, because there's no need. When you have beaten the substance of my victory, why am I still going to the court? So the best thing is, one, know this. You need to know this. Peter Obi cannot, being an Igbo man, he cannot open his mouth to tell people to protest. No, because he is monitored. If Peter Obi say protest, then the bloodthirsty vampires who are officially allowed to carry out terror, they will unleash their terror again. Remember that all that senior advocate of Nigeria, Safini Falana, all his efforts, he put his resources, he put his life in danger, he put his time, he stressed himself to lead the team to bring to justice those that organized the killing of innocent Nigerians who just protested for their right. Just for justice. Until today it has been swept under the carpet. You want him to come and die? If you see when he was asked, his stance already will tell you Peter Obi has no hope. If you see Clark, Prof. Clark, this son, I think he was son, also son, Robert Clark, elder statesman. He said yes, that Nigerian system, that they are not expecting anything good to come out from the Peter Obi's application. It's not because he don't know that Peter Obi won election. It's not because he said, yeah, he didn't go to vote, but he knows what happened. But that the fairness, that the system, over 35 years he has been applying for the judicial system to change that law that says INEC is right or whatever it does. So that presumption, it will still materialize. We are talking of a system, a state that everything has been carefully drafted out to go against the masses, the populace that owns the state. Everything starting from the constitution. How can you put a doctrine that presumes that INEC is right no matter how they carry it? If you listen to Prof. Roberts, the son, senior advocate, he's now retired. He was very clear. He was very clear. He didn't miss. You will see an elder. I didn't know he is still very articulate. He said it clearly. He's not expecting anything good. Check it out. All the electoral presidential applications that no one has worked out from history to today. That evidences will always abound, but enough evidence that can change the pronouncement that of presumption of righteousness of the INEC. So INEC is right, whatever happens, and that is why the desperados will always carry out their desperation. They will tell you, let us do it by hook or crook. Anyhow, it can happen. You saw a video where Tinubu was telling them, charging his men, go, get it. Anyhow it will be done, then let them go to court. INEC will always be right. So if you are looking for money, just go and lobby to become INEC chairman. Your sorrows of lack, financial lack, you have been gone forever. Just that one tenure of election season, you dine and wine with the kings of the world. In riches will be so muchly made by Yana to riches. So see, if you are not just biased already, I don't care if you might say anything. If you're not comfortable, you get out from my station. You can say any trash you wish to say. The truth is that we have seen the unworkability. We have seen nothing ever coming good from the system. That was why we insisted. That is why we are insisting that every wise Nigerian should know that any day they work for Nigeria to disintegrate, they will begin. That's the only time they will have hope of better life. Tell me, how come people stayed so long, especially in southern Nigeria, where I'm sure, where hell, it took people so much stress to access this PVC. So much stress. Many used over 4 months because the suffering is too much. They have seen a man whom they feel. They don't believe, a lot of them believe in this disintegration of Nigeria. They saw it to an extent, something that would take time since Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. So they saw a man that gave them hope. You know, they saw P2B, that a man that would give them hope. Maybe a lot of people who are there, who are not even Biafran, from Biafran soil, who were sympathizing with Nnamdi Kanu, who believe that, before they were condemning Nnamdi Kanu, our supreme leader, but before, at the time, they began to see that everything the man was saying was actually in line. That he was not saying anything that's not happening. The unfairness in the system is too much. It's just too much. Is it not Ojo Kanu, whom the returning officer now have been arrested, who gave him victory? Where we have over almost a whole constituency was disenfranchised just to write Ojo Kanu victory. Now he has been arrested, and Ojo Kanu is still not touched. That is kind of the system. When we talk about Nigeria going to be good, P2B will be better than any of these people coming in this season. But the same ultimate question also remains. Even as P2B will be very better than them, by health, soundness, by youthful age, by everything, by his heart, his intentions, he is better than all of these people. But how achievable will all of it go? Even when they are not achievable, he will still do better than these ones. Also, will he be a lifetime president like I asked days ago? No. He will finish and he will step down. Just like Jonathan finished after all Jonathan's efforts to do the much he could, which is good, sincere intention. Just, I think from 2 months Jonathan left office, everywhere, Nigeria was, everything began to dilapidate, everything began to depreciate, every insecurity every section of Nigerian national life began to experience bad fate. So P2B will come to reform and do the best he can. He will step down. Another Fulani will ascend. My brother, my sister, what will happen again? we will start afresh. Now, all those criminals who would have maybe gone down silent, like Obi already told you, he's not going to excavate any old issue, you know. It's not his pursuit is to give wonderful governance, commitment, be very accountable, and give good life to people, give employment. Now, you forgot that Nigeria is the state where one person come out today and sack over thousands of workers the same day and fill with the people who he feel that supported him. Yes. Are you not aware? Yes. That is prebendal system that have been so deep-seated. And then we will continue having the UKs, the Americas. I will keep sucking. The Western states will keep sucking on your resources. Even China now, they will just continue doing what they are doing, and you expect a better state. From the time that the court gave that judgment, as a man who wants true Nigeria, who wants a working Nigeria, you know that once you give a criminal access to the documents that will be used to indict him, if he doesn't know what, this is not the first time. You have seen where accountant generals were to be indicted. The next morning, you see that account office has been set ablaze. They tell you it caught fire. Maybe this one happened. It caught fire. It caught fire. It caught fire. All the documents that would have been used to prosecute him is gone. Is it not happening in Nigeria? You're not seeing it, and that would have been the thing to settle it. It's happening now and then. So, and you are allowing INEC access to the same material it used, the same system it used to cheat you, and you are not concerned about it. It doesn't disturb you. You are still sure of victory. After all, we already have, and you already have all the evidence you need now. Why are we going to court? And you think Peter Obi is so foolish, so stupid, that he is demanding that INEC should not be allowed to do that? Yes, even if you are allowing INEC to do that, no problem. Allow us to scan these systems. Let's scan this and take what we want. No problem. It is a material. They can live with it forever. You are not agitated. You are not disturbed. You want Peter Obi to declare for you to go and protest, so that after they will come and arrest Peter Obi tomorrow, that he incited a protest that took lives. That is the thing to do. So Peter Obi, I'm advising you, don't even pronounce any protest about some of these things. I'm no more blaming you about things like this, because the next thing they will arrest you. If they don't know how to do it, Dirty has mouth. Nobody will arrest. He's their brother. Let Dirty proclaim it. Let Dirty declare it. People should agitate that judgment, because if you allow the judgment, like you already know, you are just going to waste time, because the doctrine of INEC is righteous, presumed, will always prevail. So for those who never see anything good in IPOB people, you can enjoy your hatred. Keep on hating. But we in the IPOB, what we say is just the truth. We say just the truth. We are only expressing our human right. We have right to belong to anywhere. We have right to declare we don't belong to anywhere. I have right to be a member of your organization. I have right not to be, participate, to be your friend and not to be your friend, to be your family member and not to be your family member, to marry and to divorce and not even want to marry in the first place. So, we are telling you what to do if you really need Nigeria. But unfortunately, some of you have decided to be haters of truth. It's okay. That is what we have for you today. Please subscribe to our channel, share our videos, refer people to watch our videos, because we preach the truth. Nothing but the truth. And it is only the truth that sets people free all over the world. Peace be unto you for those who desires peace, who works and carries out justice and peace and actions that brings about peace. You see? We live in Chukwumerede, coming your way.
I've not been impressed by the very disappointing outing on the part of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Nigerians had been assured that we're going to have a credible election, a peaceful election, whereby votes will count. Regrettably, there was a full reign of thuggery. The thugs took over in many places. There was a compromise on the part of the security forces. There was a compromise on the part of some INEC chiefs. There was impunity on the part of some governors. I do hope that we'll be able to draw sufficient lessons from the exercise. As our courts will say, there has been substantial compliance with the Electoral Act, because you could isolate where you have pockets of illegality, pockets of violence. I expect INEC to go back to the drawing table, review the management of the elections, the role of ad hoc staff, and ensure that all those who have been arrested by the police, by other security agencies for disrupting the election, for announcing fake results or for forging results, and for deliberately preventing people to vote, must be tried before the relevant courts as soon as possible, so that those who are going to manage the next election will know that it's not going to be business as usual. But if, as you know, there is impunity again, which is not challenged, other criminal elements, other anti-democratic forces will want to even commit more heinous crimes. So for me, yes, while INEC would like to take an audit and ensure that there are backups for the BVAS machines, the servers, INEC must ensure that there are backups so that unnecessary speculations, or rather, people will not read motivations to the actions of INEC, even when there is a genuine mistake. Once people lose trust, there will be a problem in the country. So, and I want to appeal to all our people, to eschew violence and allow the next round of election to take place. But I want to commend the Nigerian people, in spite of the provocations whereby they were denied access to their own money, legitimate money, weeks before the election.
Action carried out by INEC before, gone through every election action carried out by INEC before, during, and after the presidential elections, and discovered that the leadership of INEC did not host an election with the influence of the Electoral Act, but hosted a doctored script already arranged as a selection game plan to make the ruling APC remain in office. These actions are wrong from every aspect of a nation practicing democracy as a system of government. And as a democracy outfit, we in the VMCII are officially rejecting the outcome of the elections released by INEC as results. And we are the only ones that are fit enough to ask the INEC and the federal government to revert the proceedings of the 2023 presidential elections to a cooking pot of a stillborn child, because its process are honestly not accepted by the people and the values of our democracy in general. The world knows that these presidential elections were conducted under a very serious disrespect to our citizenry, because INEC refused to follow the rules of the game, which provides that voting results were expected to be uploaded at real time, which the world did not see at all. These are electoral irregularities, and it provided the platform for the election rigging we have seen today. 1. Cancel the presidential elections. 2. Upload original voters' result as in the BVAS. 3. Remove the INEC chairman as head of the commission. 4. Arrest the INEC chairman and prosecute him by law for being part and parcel of those who rigged this election in regards to making the APC remain in power. 5. Withdraw the certificate of return given to the man called Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu as president-elect. 6. Present a new electioneering calendar date for the presidential and National Assembly election in view of the 2023 Electioneering Act by the supported by the Electoral Act of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. 7. Appoint an interim president for Nigeria that will take over from President Muhammadu Buhari after May 29, 2023, so that the interim president will finish the workload that President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to do in May 29. Because if INEC or this federal government agrees to cancel this election, it means that there will be a new electioneering plan. And the law states that President Buhari cannot be allowed to stay more than May 29 for his tenure in office. So therefore, that brings an opportunity why an interim national government will be formed. So we advise the president to please stand aside, follow the law, shop from now for someone who could be appointed as the interim president that will conduct the new elections while he goes back to Daura May 29. INEC chairman must apologize to Nigerians for lying to the nation and faking the 2023 presidential election results. 9. We state herein that with our findings of the electioneering activities, Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party remains the winner of the 2023 presidential elections, so he should be declared winner if the elections cannot be cancelled as requested by the Nigerian people who voted for him nationwide, giving Peter Obi their mandate. Meaning that if these elections cannot be cancelled, We have to use the BVAS to declare the real results. We have these results already with our agents scattered across Nigeria in the election day, and we have decided to declare that Peter Obi of the Labour Party is the original winner of the 2023 presidential elections, and INEC should obey the law by declaring Peter Obi president of Nigeria. 10. As we stand up daily at the National Fountain in Abuja for our democracy and our presidential mandate, we call on the federal government to take away any security personnel that will be a distraction to our very peaceful protest to take back our Nigeria at all costs. This means that this group is going to come out from tomorrow at the Unity Fountain to peacefully protest the return of our mandate stolen by the INEC chairman and his leadership. Until they return that mandate, either in courts or either by cancellation of the elections for another election, will remain there. And we advise and we expect that the security apparatus of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, controlled by President Muhammadu Buhari, should not be a distraction to what we are doing. We are going to be there in peace. We love Nigeria. And the only way to show love for Nigeria is to present Peter Obi as president of Nigeria.
This is Truth TV, watching out for you.